Buckle up because the internet just exploded. We are witnessing a collision of hip-hop royalty, independent journalism, and the highest levels of American politics. Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap, has just launched a nuclear strike on Don Lemon. And when I say nuclear, I mean all caps, homophobic slurs, and a total endorsement of the MAGA platform. This isn't just a Twitter beef. This involves a fatal shooting by an ICE agent, a raided church service in Minnesota, and a direct statement from President Trump's White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. Is Nicki Minaj right to call out disgusting journalism, or has she officially become, as Don Lemon puts it, a pick-me doll? Today, we're breaking down the timeline, the tragedy that started it all, and the political shift that has Nicki Minaj standing shoulder to shoulder with the Trump administration. The spark, the city's church protest. To understand why Nicki is so angry, we have to look at what happened on Sunday in St. Paul, Minnesota. Don Lemon, now an independent journalist, was live streaming from city's church. The scene was chaotic. Protesters stormed the service, interrupting the worship. Why? Because of allegations that the church's pastor has ties to ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. But this wasn't a random protest. The community is mourning. Earlier this month, a woman named Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, during a federal operation. The protesters were there to demand justice for Renee and to tell ICE to, and I quote, get the hell out of their town. Don Lemon was there to document it. But the way he documented it, and the fact that it happened inside a sacred space, is what set the world on fire. Nicki Minaj enters the chat. Enter Nicki Minaj. She didn't just disagree with Don, she went for the jugular. Nicki reposted a tweet ripping Don apart, and then followed up with her own. Don cocksucking Lemon is disgusting. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room. Don Lemon is an openly gay man who recently married Tim Malone in 2024. Nicki's use of a homophobic slur has immediately divided her fan base, the Barbs. Some say she's keeping it real and defending the sanctity of church, while others are horrified that she's using that kind of language in 2026. Deep dive analysis. Nicki's history of crashing the table. In this section, discuss Nicki's transition from a typical celebrity to a vocal political commentator. Mention her previous issues with the mainstream media and why she feels Don Lemon represents the enemy of the people. Don Lemon's counterstrike. Don Lemon didn't stay silent. He went straight to TMZ to fire back. And his response? It was cold. Don said, I'm not surprised Nicki Minaj does not understand journalism and is weighing in on matters that are above her capacity. But he didn't stop there. He called her a pick-me doll. For those who don't know, pick-me is a term for someone who overcompensates or changes their values just to get validation from a certain group. In this case, the MAGA movement. Don is essentially saying Nicki is performing for the right-wing crowd to stay relevant. The White House weighs in. This is where it gets bigger than just a celebrity feud. The White House is now involved. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt issued a statement saying President Trump will not tolerate the intimidation and harassment of Christians in their sacred places of worship. She confirmed the DOJ has launched a full investigation into the protesters at the church. Nicki Minaj has been very vocal about her support for Trump in his second term. By attacking Don Lemon, a man the MAGA base has long despised, Nicki is aligning herself perfectly with the current administration's narrative that woke protesters and liberal journalists are attacking American values. The ethical dilemma. Let's break down the layers here. The protest. Was it wrong to protest inside a church during a service? Most Americans would say yes, regardless of the cause. The journalism. Was Don Lemon just doing his job? As an independent journalist, his goal is to find the heat. He found it. The language. Does Nicki Minaj's message get lost because she used a slur? We have to talk about Renee Good. Amidst the shouting between a billionaire rapper and a famous journalist, a woman is dead. The protesters were there because of a loss of life. Is that being overshadowed by the celebrity drama? Nicki claims she's defending the church. Don claims he's defending the truth. Trump claims he's defending religion. But who is defending the nuances of this case? The pick-me allegation and the Barbs. Is Nicki Minaj a pick-me? Since 2024, Nicki has pivoted. She's moved away from the traditional Hollywood circle. She's embraced the MAGA movement. For her supporters, she's a freedom fighter against fake news. For her critics, she's pandering to a demographic that historically hasn't supported hip-hop culture. Don Lemon's comment touched a nerve because it suggests that Nicki isn't being authentic, that she's just looking for a new throne in the political world. But if you know Nicki, you know she doesn't do anything she doesn't want to do. The final verdict. This story isn't over. With a DOJ investigation pending and Nicki still firing off tweets, we're looking at a long-term battle. Don Lemon is trying to reinvent himself as a boots-on-the-ground reporter. Nicki Minaj is reinventing herself as a political powerhouse. And the rest of us are caught in the middle of a culture war that is getting nastier by the hour. The question for you: did Nicki go too far with the language, or was she right to call out Don Lemon for filming inside a church? And what do you think about the White House getting involved in a celebrity Twitter beef? Drop a comment below. I'll be hearting the best responses. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that the mainstream media, and apparently Don Lemon, don't want you to see the same way. If you want to see more about Nicki's political shift, click the video on the left. If you want to see the full breakdown of the Minnesota ICE incident, click the video on the right. See you in the comments.